I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good morning, Wize, Grazette. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful morning?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you, Angel, for inviting me onto your show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a great pleasure to connect with you. I love the Caribbean accents. I cannot deny hearing that twang, right? But do tell us, what part of the world are you in now?
Now I'm in the U.S. I live in New York, in Brooklyn.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And which of your talents up to now is responsible for us connecting?
So I would say that it would probably be my podcast platform, or my digital media platform in general.
Yeah.
The Indie Creative Network.
Oh, there we go. Most definitely. Now, the name of the podcast that you host is Hip Hop Journalist, the Unco radio show podcast, right?
Yeah. So I started that podcast
Right.
Back in 2013. I actually ended the podcast in 2017 to really get into and focus on not just the business aspect of the Indie Creative Network, but also on the production side, because I'm more so of a producer now than anything else.
All right. Well, that's intriguing. So who did you learn this skill from? The skill of producing music. I love it. I love music.
I would say the skill of producing music and just vocals in general, I learned it from our good old friend Google. Google University is alive and well, and it's free. So for anybody out there that went to school for something completely different, like I did, definitely if you want to learn a new skill, I definitely recommend Google, and it's plentiful children to pick up any sort of additional skill sets that you might want to progress your career or your hobbies or whatnot.
That's intriguing. No, I would push back a bit because of knowing music, right? Like, I'm sure there's someone that surrounded you, something that gave you that knack for the love for music.
Well, yeah, definitely. Just growing up in a Bajan household, listening to all types of soca, dance hall, reggae, lovers rock and whatnot, and then being in the U.S. and listening to hip hop and R&B and funk and all the genres that were around me in my household, outside of my household, around my friends and my other family. It got me into music. I used to play the guitar as a child. I did singing. I was in a church choir. Like, I was involved in a bunch of different things that got me interested in music. But I would say that I was more so intrigued as an adult with music through just interviewing people on my podcast / radio show, and even before that, interviewing people, which is actually how I got started in actual broadcasting at Hunter College.
Oh, interesting. Now, producing music, like I was telling a friend yesterday, it takes time. I love it. Again, I love it. The production of it, it's a tedious task, right? In terms of the time it takes. Why will you continue to repeat this skill nevertheless?
You repeat it because you love it. You repeat it because it's your interest. Any interest that grows into an interest grows into a hobby grows into a passion grows into a job. For me, my interest into music production and understanding, how to make someone's voice work with this song, or how to mix the music to have everything blend together. That got me into producing podcasts and making sure that everyone's vocals were mixed and mastered the appropriate way. So when they hit record and when they hit send or upload or whatnot on any of these platforms now, if you have one person that talks slow, another person that talks high, it doesn't really sound like you're, one person's yelling at you and the other person is really whispering to you. That got me into, so again, my love for music then transferred into me figuring out how to get into music production, which then turned into which blended into my passion of podcasting, which then overall made me become a more so a podcast producer in today's present.
I love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, all right. Now, what's the best or where? I have no idea why I keep saying what's the best place. I'm not sure, but it's happening over and over. But anyway, where is the best place for someone to connect with you?
Oh man, I'm pretty accessible. Definitely online. I would say I'm most active on Twitter. But my Twitter name, my Facebook name, my Instagram name, Snapchat, everything is all the same. It's at the real Wize. Wize spelled Wize. You can contact me there. You can find me on my website, icn.dj. That's ICN.dj. I'm available everywhere. I definitely love when people reach out to me, whether it's for questions, comments, or concerns. I love just to engage with people.
Love it. Well, do tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Oh man, take care of my child.
That's great.
Yeah, I have a 5-year-old daughter. Her name is Brianna. She is the love of my life. But as a co-parenting father, who's also an entrepreneur, that work-life balance is really important. And I as an entrepreneur, where this is my quote unquote 9 to 5, I really have to make sure that I'm setting aside time to be active in her life, setting aside time to get engaged with her interests, setting aside time to know what she likes to do, and then make sure that she's involved in things that she likes to do. So these last 3 years has been me trying to be a better father, or actively being a better father for her.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, it makes me feel amazing. It's another one of those passion things that honestly, I'm a big believer in passion purpose, and it's another one of those passion purpose things where you're just like, yeah, this is my daughter, and I need to make sure that my daughter is happy at all times, and I need to be the one to make sure that she's happy, and finding ways to make her happy is what I need to do. So.
Love it. Hey, there parents out there listening, fathers listening. Why would you suggest they do what you're doing?
It gives me a lot of free time, or it allows me to set my own schedule. Is probably the better way to say that. She just started kindergarten, so and her school schedule is really, it's different from the school schedule I grew up with. So, I want to make sure that when she came out of school, she didn't have to go to this person's house, that person's house after school, whatever it is. If she needs me, I can be there, regardless of what time it is. If I need to, I have a studio space in Brooklyn, where we record our podcasts. We do shoot visuals and stuff like that as well. So in the event that she calls me at 11:30 and say, "Yeah, Daddy, I don't feel well. Can you come pick me up?" I can get in the car and drive.
Wow.
I don't have to beg my manager, "Hey boss, I need to leave." That doesn't have to happen. So.
Yeah, that's great, Wize. It sounds as though you're doing the wiser thing in life.
I try.
That's great. That's great. Amazing audience. We are live with Wize Grazette. Do check him out. As he said, he's really available in many places. Wize, let's switch gears for a moment now, and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. What is your earliest childhood memory?
Oh man, I prepared for this ahead of time, and I'm still freezing up at this moment. I would say my earliest childhood memory was moving for the first time in my life, or at least what I would deem as my first time in my life, to a place in Brooklyn called Canarsie. At the time, right now, currently, Canarsie is probably the second biggest West Indian neighborhood in Brooklyn. But at the time when I moved there, it was very split. It was like I specifically remember this moment, moving there and like kind of looking out from from our front door, and just looking up and down the block and seeing a bunch of black people on one side and white people on the other side. And I don't know why that memory sticks in my head, but it just later on in life it kind of describes the balance that I have to exist in this world in America or in New York at the time in Canarsie, Brooklyn. So
Interesting. How old do you think you were?
I was definitely about 5 years old.
Wow. So why do you think this memory in particular is so clear?
Well, for me, being a first generation American, you go through things of, like, I would say, like, identity crisis, because you don't fit. I don't fit in with Americans, and I don't 100% fit in with Americans. I don't 100% fit in with Asians. So I'm kind of caught in this little space that you don't necessarily know where you exist. You don't necessarily fit in anywhere, and that, I guess, I would feel like that's how I felt at that time, where I'm the new neighbor. I don't know anybody on this block. I look around, nobody seems familiar to me. One side of the street is white people, one side of the street is black people. It just felt really weird at the time. So
that's amazing. Hey, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Definitely.
Yeah, I love the idea that firstly, I say I love the idea of the fact that each person is walking on either sides of the road, but the truth is, the road is the place each person has to travel, right? Yeah. Which then gives us the opportunity to understand that there are no limitations, right? And we all come to one place, right? Like, it's you have to live, be born, and die, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's that. But I also love the second aspect of it, which is the music, which creates something that is so colorful, if you would, that creates something that at the same time is colorless. On the podcast, I've had so many people who I ask your favorite song at 12, and it's fascinating. Like, music transcends so many aspects or borders that we set up as humans, right? Be it race, be it age, be it gender, and hey, the fact that you have found your love in and through music and the production of it is fascinating to me.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
This is funny. So my favorite song, 12, I would have been 2000. Right. It was Shaggy, It Wasn't Me. At that time I was headed to my mom used to drive us to school in the mornings, and I was going to private school. And the song came out. My mother played this song every day. So it just stuck on me. And then the video came out, and it was cool too. So
yeah, Shaggy. Wow. All right, my friend. yeah. Well, sometimes you could connect things, right? It wasn't me. In that scenario, right? Like, it's like you're in that place, and it wasn't you, but yet it was you. Sure. All right, my friend. Hey, Wize, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form, so it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Wize?
I'm definitely ready.
Wize, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yeah, I have, actually.
Are you married?
No, I'm not.
You have your one daughter, right?
Yes.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Way more than 8.
All right. Wize, after having 1,001 conversations, in 3 months, I came up with a workbook. It's called Yours. It stands for Your Own Unique Real Self. And the idea is, as you answer the questions, you uncover your mission, your own unique real statement. If you had to share with us, Wize, your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, what would you say that is?
Be yourself. Nobody can be the best you than you.
Love it. Hey, Wize, this was a great pleasure. Hey, before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Yeah, definitely. My company, the Indie Creative Network, we represent over 60 podcasts and YouTube creators on our website, icn.dj. Our mission statement is dedicated to the advancement of people of color in media worldwide. So definitely check it out, icn.dj. You can subscribe to our podcast, and we are running a sweepstakes giving away Fenty Beauty and a cruise for 2 by December 31st. So yeah, just Check us out on our social media. On Instagram is at ICNDJ, and on Twitter it's Indie Creative NW.
Love it. Hey, keep doing what you're doing. Wize Grazette, again, great pleasure. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.